Hi, I'm Rob Santos. We're going to talk about the CalClarity setup system today. The CalClarity system basically is a bromine generating system that will continually create bromine from sodium bromide, which is basically known as salt. This system requires a basic setup to make sure that it will work continuously with very little maintenance. Okay, so getting started, we're going to start with step one. This is before you fill your hot tub with water. The first thing we're going to do is take a small sample from your water service, and we're going to test for total dissolved solids, which is TDS, which basically means the mineral content in your water. So if you're on well water, odds are you're going to have too many total dissolved solids in it. So you'll have to use a product to bring those down. So with the accompanying test kit, we're going to test and make sure that our TDS is somewhere between the range of 200 and 500 TDS. If it tests higher than that, then we're actually going to have to use those metal protecting products such as Metal Gone and so on and so forth to make sure we bring those down before we actually start using the CalClarity system. Now that we've tested our spa water for total dissolved solids, we're going to move on to step two. Step two basically is cleaning the spa prior to filling it. What we want to make sure is we don't use any type of cleaners that have phosphates or will leave behind a soapy residue. There are specific chemicals for this, spa cleaning chemicals, spa clean and whatnot. In a pinch you can use rubbing alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, just on a rag and just wipe the whole spa shell down. So when you fill your spa up with water, what we're going to do is you're going to use the garden hose and fill it through the filter area first. So that way water will purge through the whole filter system and then fill the spa up. We're going to fill the spa halfway up to the skimmer level. This water level will be optimal to make sure that everything works correctly and water doesn't splash out of your spa. Now that our spa is full of water, we need to test the water with the test strips. The test strips and the testing of the water is pretty a crucial step in this whole process. The better job that we do setting up the chemical levels in our hot tub means the CalClarity system can generate bromine more efficiently. This is the whole process with turning the sodium bromide, the salt, into bromine, and then it does it repetitively. So it's very important to make sure your levels test in these parameters. For example, the pH level should test between 7.2 to 7.8. The alkalinity should test between 80 and 120 parts per million. Calcium hardness should be 180 to 400 parts per million, and the sodium bromide level should be 1500 to 1900 parts per million. All right, so step four is the process of mixing in our sodium bromide or our salt. It's important that we only use True Blue. True Blue is the brand that is set up for this CalClarity system. It's 98% technical grade sodium bromide, so it's the cleanest form of sodium bromide we can get. So now we're going to mix in the True Blue sodium bromide or our salt. Now you're going to remember that we're doing 2 pounds per 100 gallons of spa water. So if you have a 500-gallon tub, you're going to add 5 bottles of True Blue. Now remember, with water chemistry, less is more. You can always add more to spa water, but you can't necessarily take chemistry out of water. So you want to be real careful and err on the side of too little. So when we add this, we're going to walk over and turn on the jets. Now if you have a one pump system, you go ahead and turn on your one pump on high, just like we have here. If you have a 2-pump system, like this spa is, turn both pumps, get a lot of action in the hot tub. Then we'll add the entire bottle, 2 pounds per time, and you just kind of want to mix it in. Just like that. Let it mix for about 10 minutes and then add the next quantity. With our test strips, we're going to monitor where our acceptable levels are. All label of test strips, doesn't matter who manufactures them, are going to have your ranges for your pH, your alkalinity, and your hardness. So basically, if it's in the okay range, you're good. You take your test strip, dip it in the water, match it up to your test strip here, and you'll see if your levels are okay or if they need to be adjusted. Then you adjust them with the proper chemistry. So step 5 is going to be setting up our filtration time for the CalClarity system. Now that is done by the CalSpa's control panel. It's very simply done. What we're going to do is we're going to first hit our temperature button, so the button marked temperature, and then the button marked jets when you see the temperature display blink. So the default system for all CalSpas is F2. So what that means is it's going to filter 2 hours in the AM and 2 hours in the PM. The start time is going to be whatever time of day you actually turned on the spa breaker. So if you powered it up at noon, your filtration cycles are going to be from 12 noon to 2 o'clock a.m. and 12 noon, 2 o'clock p.m. Due to the fact that the CalClarity system only operates when the spa is in low speed like it is now, we want to increase the standard filter cycle 2 to filter cycle 4. This will give us 4 hours in the AM, 4 hours in the PM for a total of 8 hours a day. That's the only time that the process for the CalClarity can transform that sodium bromide or salt back into bromine. So we want to make sure we have adequate time. If your system is different than the system that we're displaying here, you should go to the CalSpa's website at www.calspas.com and scroll down to the bottom and click the owner's manual section. Find your owner's manual for your model year and go through the setting filtration section to set your system up properly. The CalClarity system only receives power when the spa is on low speed. So with our spa on low speed like it is now, you'll notice the display is illuminated. Currently we're set to 10, which is the highest level for the CalClarity system. You're going to notice that there's a small positive mark on the display. The plus will indicate the polarity level or the polarity output of the element themselves. You'll notice about every 2 minutes or so it'll switch from a positive to a negative, and that's just indicating that the power is fluctuating to keep the element clean. New spa startups are always going to start at the level 10. Please remember that you do not leave it at level 10. This is only to establish a bromine base. The CalClarity system also has a built-in sensor for TDS or total dissolved solids. Your system should normally test between 2.0 to 4.0 parts per million for total dissolved solids. If it operates outside of that parameter, then your display is going to flash, letting you know you need to test and adjust your total dissolved solids. Now that we've established a bromine level in our hot tub, we're going to set our maintenance level or our power level to maintain our bromine level. So it's no longer running just to create bromine, it's going to be running to maintain our bromine level. This is dependent on how many spa users use the tub on a regular basis. Now your levels are going to peak and rise with more or less bathers. So you're going to want to set it and just pretty much leave it alone is the best advice I can give you here. So if it's just one bather or two bathers a couple times a week, you're going to set the power output level to between 5 and 6. If you have 2 bathers to 3 bathers, you could be between levels 6 and 7. If you entertain a lot, then you're probably going to end up between the levels of 7 to 9 or so at the max. If you leave your bromine level power at 10, it can create some problems with your hot tub. So you want to make sure that you adjust it accordingly. An important thing to remember setting your power levels on your CalClarity system. Most users fall between the positions of 6 and 8 on your power level. If you entertain in between there, you experience heavy usage with your tub, try to offset that by just adding a little oxidizer shock to your spa with the cover open and the jets on, rather than trying to adjust your power level. Because the bromine system recreates bromine at a stable level, making radical adjustments is just going to either create too much bromine or not enough bromine. So try to leave it locked in between your 6 and 8 parameter or whatever your magic number is. Thank you for joining us for this CalClarity setup video. If you have any questions at all, please visit www.calspas.com or call 1-800-CalSpas for customer service.